It's time to get excited if you're a fan of cars and GTA Online. If you're a gearhead like me, this update they announced this morning looks like it's going to be pretty darn cool. We're going to go through a couple of different things. We're going to look at what they've confirmed on their newswire, what's likely in the update, what I believe to be possible, and then what's not likely but would be pretty awesome to have in the game. First, let's look at what they've confirmed with their newswire post, and they've told us that this is based on fan-requested vehicle content. That actually tells us a lot, and knowing that, we can look at a couple different things and where they might be focusing on the update. Car culture is back in a big way. That is so exciting. There's going to be new places to meet and test rides, and based on the last few updates, I think we can take a look at those and see what's likely to happen as well. And there are going to be new stolen vehicles to acquire. This could cover so many different things. So in different scenarios, I think there are things that would make sense and things that would work really well too. But most importantly, perhaps, is this, the car that they've shown. This is a CELICA GT4, and I was so excited when I first saw this. I absolutely love this car. It also looks to be pulling out of a garage that I don't really recognize, so I have some theories on that too. But let's go ahead and jump right into what I believe is likely to be included in this upcoming update, and the update looks like it's going to be coming in just a few weeks. Go-kart races. They released these go-karts and there's nothing that you can do with them as far as racing goes. I think that's kind of silly, and I think they kind of have to include go-karts in this update. Now, one thing that can kind of build off of that, I would want a go-kart race creator. I don't know about you guys. I love building tracks. All the tracks you see in this video I created, and I love driving on them. We should have a go-kart race creator. But currently, you can only do a 2/3 mile race. That is the shortest race you can possibly create in GTA Online. So they need to shorten that most likely to create go-kart races, which would also potentially make creating 1/4 mile races possible. So drag racing could be incorporated in the update, which I think would be absolutely phenomenal. It would be so much fun to see that and to have easier ways to do drag racing. Now, I've tested all of these cars in a very complicated way to find their time, so it'd be a little bit of a bummer for me if there were easier ways to get the 1/4 mile times going forward, but I just think it's something that's absolutely been missing in the game and something that we car guys really want and need. They also say new places to meet and safe places to meet. But we got to look at what Rockstar has done previously. Previously, in the last update, they added the music locker, and they used similar language. So a safe place to meet seems to me like it's going to be more of an interior location. I would love to see something a little more in depth, but I think to temper our expectations and go in the likely column, let's call it something like a Benny's expansion. If you look at Benny's, there are a lot of open warehouses around it that they could use to either expand Benny's or maybe even put in a new character that does upgrades more related to drag racing or racing in general. I think that'd be really neat, and if they could include some of the current cars, some new cars that get that treatment, car guys like me would be pretty darn happy. Now, the other thing that they say, there's going to be more vehicles to steal or acquire, more stolen vehicles to acquire. So what does that mean? I guess, to me, what's likely is that we'll see an expanded list of vehicles for SIMEON, maybe some better cars on the street. But if we go to what's possible now, maybe they'll expand on import-export. That'd be pretty awesome. Put some of these newer supercars, some of these newer cars that have been released that are a little more valuable in import-export. A lot of people would love that, and that would be pretty cool and fairly easy to implement, I would imagine. So now that we're on possible, something that I think Rockstar absolutely has to do, give us a ZR380 that doesn't have armor plating. Even if I have to pay for it at Benny's or at a new area, that armor plating is so disappointing. I would absolutely love that car like I love the Apocalypse Imperator if I could just take those silly armor plated windows off. That to me is a must, but I'm going to put it in the possible category. Maybe, just maybe, we'll get a purpose-built track in the Grand Senora Desert. This is in the possible section because it would be pretty hard to make that the safe place to meet. It would be awesome to go to a track day in GTA Online. Can you imagine? That'd be so much fun. But I don't know how you would make that safe. I don't see how that's possible. So yeah, I'm not going to put that in the likely category. It would be cool to have multiple different layouts. Let's say you could have a giant oval with an interior road course. Maybe you can have a drag strip just off to the side, a lot like what people build in the creator, but have it there for everybody to use and everybody to test their cars on. Would be awesome. Another thing that might be possible is a dyno. And you think back, if you've been playing racing games for a long time, all the way back to the original Xbox, Street Racing Syndicate, you had, what was it called? Need for Speed Underground 2. The games all had little dynos that you could put your car on, so that might be something that Rockstar could implement if they have one of these new locations. That'd be pretty cool, actually. I would have a lot of fun with a dyno. And another thing that I think could be possible is some better street racing. Maybe we have new racing modes where it's a little more street racy. I think that could be a lot of fun. Now, on to not likely, but would be awesome. This is my favorite category. This is where I'm just going to dream big. And some of this stuff, like I said, not likely, but it would be really neat to see. Building on what I was saying about street racing, I would love to see a new street racing storyline or new open wheel races that include a series, maybe even similar to Arena Wars. They have that kind of, I guess you could call it, points system for Arena Wars, so maybe you could join leagues or series for open wheel racers and race against some people that actually know what they're doing and have a lot of fun. That would be a blast. For the stealing cars portion of it, how about a Gone in 60 Seconds type heist? It'd be really neat if you could maybe own a garage in Los Santos. There are car garages all over the place. Maybe we could transform those into some ownable properties where you launch these from, or even an open warehouse. There are open warehouses all over the island. Drift events would be really cool, but also really unlikely. There's nothing in the game that I know of, I'm not a developer, but there's nothing that I can think of that would allow you to easily score drift events. Building that in seems like something that's not very likely. Most of all, what I would love to see is a massive Benny's expansion, even if it's a different area, a different person, a different character in the game, where, I mean, we're talking like 50 of the current cars, some of the best current cars that don't have Benny's treatments that need them. Can you imagine going and putting a wide body kit on something like the Stratum or the Kuruma? The Kuruma, I think, has been neglected for a while. Maybe the Bullet or the Vaca. I mean, there's so many cool things that you could do with a car like the Dominator GTX or the Blista Compact, which has been so bad for so long, but also just an awesome car that I love and I want it to be so much better. There are some really cool things that could happen with a Benny's expansion. But I want to hear from you. What would enhance your Gearhead experience in GTA Online? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want more Stockboy Gaming content in the future. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.